Hare Krishna. So today is 24th January 2021. On behalf of ISKCON Scarborough, I would like to welcome each one of you to this 11th successive month of virtual Sunday feast classes. We started off like many other temples in March. Today is Putrada Ekadasi, and by the way, this is already the second Ekadasi in 2021. And tomorrow, Dwadasi, the fast breaking time is from 7:40 onwards until about 10:53. So today we are honored to welcome back His Holiness Sundar Chaitanya Goswami Maharaj to speak to us on the topic of chat with God. It's a very unique topic. And if you remember, Maharaj gave a wonderful class in August for ISKCON Scarborough devotees, and the topic was the glories of Lord Balaram. So a little bit about Maharaj. Maharaj is from Mauritius, where he came in contact with ISKCON in 1982. And in 1986, Maharaj joined the Brahmachari Ashram and dedicated his life to the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And Maharaj is an international motivational speaker, leadership trainer, and a renowned youth preacher. And Maharaj specializes in empowering people to realize their true values and selves. And as a keynote speaker, thousands of people have discovered a new light from his energetic workshops worldwide. And Maharaj travels extensively. And if you remember, a couple of years ago, he was here in the GTA area, and he actively preaches in many parts of Europe and India, as well as South Africa as well. So he's also a lecturer at the Vaishnava Institute of Higher Education in Vrindavan Dham, India. So all our classes are recorded and posted on our website as well. So with that, we will hand it over to His Holiness Sundar Chaitanya Goswami Maharaj to enlighten us on the topic of chat with God. As usual, the last 10 minutes, we'll pick up the questions from the chat forum, and then we will ask on behalf of you to Maharaj. Maharaj, we are so grateful to have you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Maharaj.
How long do I have to speak, please?
It's 1 hour, Maharaj, from now.
1 hour, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ananda Gauranga Prabhu, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for this invitation. And my name is Sundar Chaitanya Goswami from Mauritius. And I'm so grateful. And I'd like to also express my heartfelt thanks and joy for joining you all. And the topic given to me today is a chat with God. And just before starting, I'd like to also make some prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksharan Miritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastite Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhana Site Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Paritana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this topic, Chat with God, has been is a dialogue between Lord and the living entity. Just like the Bhagavad Gita is also a dialogue between devotee and the living entity and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, and Arjuna was put in such a situation that he would be asking question, and then Krishna would be giving the answer. Srila Prabhupada explained that the dilemma that Arjuna was facing, we all have dilemma, we all have problem in this world, and forces one to actually surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So nice conversation. So I'd like to start I would like to share my screen. You have to allow me to.
Yes, Maharaj, I'll make you the co-host, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj, you should have the option now to share the screen. Yes, we can see the script.
Maybe is that big enough, or I need to make it more bigger?
This is big enough, Maharaj. If you do the slideshow, it should be good.
Okay, all right, good. So, like I've said, it's a conversation between the living entity and the Supreme Lord. Chat with God, because people nowadays they're always chatting on the internet, on the phone, mobile phone. So, it's like one time what happened is there was a lady. She was carrying a bunch of wood upon her head. And then while she was walking, she just knocks against some stone and the wood fell to the ground. And that lady said, "Oh my God." You know, after saying, "Oh my God," and then God appeared in front of her. And then God said, "How can I serve you? What can I do?" And the lady was thinking, and after seeing God, she said, "Oh, can you help me to put back this bunch of wood upon my head?" So this is an example that Prabhupada gave, that at times we pray to God, we worship God, and we want God to answer our prayers. But God does answer our prayers. But when He comes, He appears, then we don't take advantage. We don't recognize the presence of God. That's what happens sometimes. So let us start with this chatting, a chat with God, and we'll have some understanding. So God is saying is calling back. Somebody make a call. Someone made a call to God, and now God is replying back because God got a missed call, right? He's calling back the person, and God is saying, "Hello, did you call me?" Because he got a missed call, right? And the man said, "Call you? No, who is this?" So the point I wanted to make is, at time we pray to God. Yeah, we worship God, we pray to God, we make some prayers, and now God is responding, is replying. But sometimes we may also forget, right? We may also forget that we have made some prayers, and now God is responding. That may take time for God to respond also. So then, yes, God is saying, "God, this is God. Yes, this is me. This is God. I heard your prayers, and I thought I will chat with you." Right? So God is answering. The man is saying, I do pray, just make me feel good. But now I'm actually very, very busy. I'm in the midst of something. I'm in the midst of something. I'm so busy, right? People are very busy nowadays. So busy. Sometime, people would say that I made some prayers to God, but there is no response. I don't feel that God is responding, right? But we'll see what God is going to say for that. So this man, he made some prayers to God, but now he's so busy. He's extremely busy. God is saying, what are you busy at? Because the ants also very busy too. The ants are also very busy. And then the man said, don't know, but I can't find free time. He said, life has become hectic. It's always rush hours all the time. We understand that long ago, it was a certain peak time, it was rush hours. But nowadays, life has become so hectic that it's rush hours all the time, right? So, yeah, he's saying like that. So God's saying, sure, activity gets you busy, right? You have so much activity, gets you busy. But productivity gets you results. If you're productive, then you get results. Activity consumes times, right? Productivity frees it. This is the answer by God. So I'm going to explain this. It will become clear what I wanted to say. And the man is saying, yes, I understand, but still I can't figure it out. By the way, I was not expecting you to buzz me on instant messaging chat. So because men nowadays are so busy, they don't have time for even God. And God is saying now, well, I wanted to resolve your fight for time by giving you some clarity. In this net era, I wanted to reach you through the medium you are comfortable with. So people are very much chatting nowadays, mobile phone, internet, mobile computer. So God is saying that I wanted to reach you through the medium you are comfortable with. But if you say that long ago we didn't have this facility that we have nowadays, the technology, everything. Nowadays, you don't have to go to somebody, just make a phone call. You don't have to walk for shopping. You can just buy a car. For washing clothes, you have a washing machine. For cooking, you have a facility, just press the button, right? But still people don't have time. Long ago, we never had the facility, but people had time for the family, and people have time for God, and people have time for himself. So the point is, we think that with technology we'll become happy. The technology can help. Yes, technology will help. Technology is like we call it a painkiller. It's a painkiller. You know, painkiller kills the pain, but doesn't cure the disease, right? So we find that, especially I heard Brihat Maharaj was saying, nowadays we have husbands and wives are working, right? That's a must because that's Kali Yuga. We need money. But when two people are working in the house, at home, in a house, the expenses are more than only when the husband only is working. Right? Expenses are more. How is that expenses are more? Because long ago, the mother at home used to stay at home and take care of the children, of the children, giving the affection, the love that they need. You know, but nowadays they're just receiving lots of just academic education. But that love for the mother is going to work and is coming in the evening very late, The children, they don't get the affection very much. And this is the cause. That's why there is also lots of unwanted progeny, like Arjuna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. When women become corrupt, and then it gives rise to unwanted progeny, right? So then the expense is more because they have to take care of the children. So then God is saying, yes, well, I wanted to resolve a fight for time by giving you some clarity in this net era. I wanted to reach you. So the medium you're comfortable with. And the man is saying, yes, tell me, why has life become complicated now? Life is very much complicated. Prabhupada used to say, simple living, but high thinking, right? Simple living and high thinking. Nowadays, it is complicated living and no time to think. There's no time to think, right? No simple living, complicated living. No time to think. People are so busy nowadays. So because God is saying analysis is what makes it complicated. You're always analyzing. When you analyze, you surmise, mean you go down. When you believe, you achieve something, right? So this is why life has become very, very much complicated nowadays. If you see the paradox means that we have wider freeways nowadays, but narrow viewpoints, more medicine, but less wellness, more money, but less time, fancy house, but broken homes. This is the age of 2 income, but more divorce, right? So it is the paradox of Kali Yuga. So man is saying now, why are we then constantly unhappy?
Okay.
Why are we constantly unhappy in this world? Because that's true. There's no real happiness. Why are we constantly unhappy, always stressed, always busy, so many things to do. So, and the man is saying that, but how can we not worry when there is so much uncertainty? Right? You are worrying too much. God is saying there's so much worries. Right? In life, there's so much worries in life. And God is saying, how should not we worry? So how can we not worry when there is so much uncertainty in life? Has to be worried. Worries has to be there. But God is saying for humans, uncertainty is inevitable. But worrying is optional. Right? Uncertainty is inevitable. You cannot avoid. That is there. Moga samoga karmanu, moga jnana vicheta saha. Krishna tells Arjuna, all the plan that we have, the plans of karma and jnana, will become baffled. Yes, all the plans of jnana and karma will be baffled. Moga samoga karmanu. Moga means baffling. Right? Now we can see nowadays just small corona. Yeah? Whole world is affected by just this small virus corona. Whole world is affected by this. So that's why Krishna is telling to Arjuna, Moga samoga karmana moga jnana vicheta saha. So all our plan for karma and jnana will become baffled one day. So we are seeing that. So God is saying for humans, uncertainty is inevitable, but worrying is optional. The man is saying, but then there's so much pain due to uncertainty. So much pain when there is uncertainty. Doing business doesn't work, there's failure, there's bankrupt. Decided to open a big business and there is lockdown, right? So much pain to pay back the loan. But God is saying now, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional, right? You can't avoid pain, it's there. But you can avoid being suffering. Suffering you can avoid if you want to, right? If your fingers cut, it is painful. But you can also avoid the suffering, because if you tolerate it, then that's why pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. That's depend on you. If you want to take it and sit down and suffer because of this, if you tolerate it, then you can avoid it. So that's what God is saying. So a man is saying now, if suffering is optional, he's saying, God is saying suffering is optional. And he said, why do good people suffer? There is a question like that. Good thing happen to bad people, and bad thing happen to good people. Right? That is a saying. So, yeah, we have to have wisdom to be able to understand this. Good thing happen to bad people, and bad thing happen to good people. People would say, oh, I'm a prayer, I'm a devotee, I'm praying every day, I'm doing this, I'm a pious man. Why is happening to me? Why me? Why me? I'm such a good person. Look at the other guys. My neighbor, he's not a devotee, he's not pious, he's not pious, but still is well off, right? His business is going nicely, he's got big cars, big house. But we have to have wisdom to try to understand this. Why do good people suffer? And why bad people, they are not suffering, the good thing happen to bad people. So we have to have the wisdom to be able to understand this, right? Because this good and bad is all relative concept. You know, in this world, benedictions, boons, and curse, they are relative concept. They're not absolute. Like, for example, if you say Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die in 7 days. So from one point of view, we'll find that this is a curse, but that's not a curse, that's a boon. That's a benediction. He was able to, because of this curse, he was able to approach his guru and then listen to Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days. So he, mercy, boons, and these are all relative concept. You know, once there was Akbar and Birbal. Akbar, you may have heard of Akbar and Birbal. Akbar was the king in India. Birbal was his minister. Birbal was Indian Hindu. So Akbar, when he wakes up in the morning one time, and he went to his balcony, and then he saw his washerman who was washing clothes outside. He saw him face to face, from a distance, face to face from a distance. He saw his washerman, and his washerman also saw the king. You know. So, and then as he was walking, Akbar slipped and fell to the ground, to the floor. He broke his hand. Both hands were broken. And the next day he was on his bed with broken hand. And his ministers, other ministers came and asked, Akbar, how did that happen to you? How did that happen to you? And then the king was trying to explain how it happened. And that ministers asked, who was the first person you saw in the morning? And the king said, the Dhobi, the washerman. And the minister said that, okay, king, we have to kill him because he is cause of your auspiciousness early morning. Because just by seeing him, you fell down to the ground, broke your hand. So we have to kill him. And then it was ordered. The king said, okay, we have to chop off the head of the washerman. And when the washerman got the news, his head is going to be chopped off. So he became so scared. Then he went to Bilbar to explain to Bilbar to save him. So Bilbar, please help me. The king is going to chop off my head, because the king said, just by seeing me in the morning, he fell to the ground. So I become like inauspicious for him. And Bilwal said, don't worry, I'll take care of that. And Bilwal went to the king and told the king Akbar, so you want to chop off the head of your washerman because of him that you fell down. So it was a cause of auspiciousness for you. But let me tell you, my dear king, you know, the washerman head is going to be chopped off because he saw your face early morning, right? Because he saw your face in the early morning. So you're the cause of inauspicious for him. So now his head is going to be chopped off. See, the point I wanted to make here is curse or benedictions or maledictions, whatever, they're all relative. Auspiciousness can become, inauspiciousness can become auspicious, or auspicious can become inauspicious, because it's a relative concept. So God is saying that diamonds cannot be polished without friction. Gold cannot be purified without fire. Good people go through trials but don't suffer. With that experience, the life becomes better, not bitter. With experience, our life becomes better, not bitter. Also, good people see opportunity in every adversity. The opportunity which makes them turn to me, to God. So earlier I was mentioning about good thing happen to bad people. Yes, because good thing happened to bad people, maybe he's reaping his fruit, his punya, his pious deed that he has done in his previous life. Now he's getting it. But if he start to enjoy that result, he will again have to pay back, to suffer again. But if a devotee, good people, they're suffering, in one sense, he's paying back his debts. He will become free from karma. It will become light. So here he's saying that a good people see opportunity in every adversity. Like Parishit Maharaj, he was cursed, right, to die in 7 days. So he took it as an opportunity. That adversity, that negative, that is adversity. But he has transformed. He took it as an opportunity to approach his spiritual master, to listen to Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days. So it's like an injection, injection. The doctor gave injection. So the injection is painful, right? It is painful, but then it cures the disease, right? Another example I would give, a mango tree. A mango tree is bitter. The branches are bitter, the leaves are bitter, the flowers are bitter, everything is bitter about the tree, mango tree. But it requires a bitter mango tree to give us ripened, sweet mangoes, right? So it requires a whole bitter tree to give us ripened, sweet mango fruits. So that's the point. I remember one time there was Indradumna Swami Maharaj. So Indradumna Swami Maharaj, he went to Russia to visit his disciple one time. So there were 2 disciples, one mother and one daughter. Daughter was 50 years old, mother was 80 years old. So the daughter was bedridden. She was a doctor, but then she became bedridden. She had some problems, disease, the foot cannot walk. And she was bedridden for 6 years. So the mother has to take care of the daughter. And she's not working, not so much money, they're very poor. So Indradumna Swami Maharaj decided to go and visit them. So Indradumna Maharaj went to Russia, to that place, and then came to the house. And then he saw that the daughter was bedridden, but she was chanting Hare Krishna. That much he can do, chant Hare Krishna. So Guru Maharaj, Indradumna Maharaj asked the daughter, so how are you? And then she said, Guru Maharaj, I am fine. And Guru Maharaj said, how can you say that you're fine when you're bedridden for 6 years? How is that? You're fine. And then the Mataji said, yes, Gurudev, Krishna has taken everything from me. Krishna has taken everything because they're very poor now. They don't have much. Krishna has taken everything from me, but Krishna has given me time to chant Hare Krishna. You know, that much she can do bedridden, right? She said like that. Krishna has taken everything, but Krishna has given me time to chant Hare Krishna. So who else nowadays would get time to chant Hare Krishna? People don't have time to chant Hare Krishna. She said, Krishna has put me in such a position that I am able to chant Hare Krishna, to chant my Japamala. Many rounds I can chant. You see, this is called transforming adversity into an opportunity, right? Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional again. So this is called transforming. And Guru Maharaj came there when Indradumna Maharaj went there, and his tears started coming from his eyes. He said that I came here to inspire them. Then he said I became so much inspired by this Mataji. And Mataji, she wrote a letter to Guru Maharaj. They gave also some dakshina. And she said, yes, every time the sun is rising, sun is setting, I'm closer to Krishna. I'm coming closer to Krishna. So that is how one can actually turn adversity into opportunity. Everything that is bad in this world doesn't necessarily that this is bad. A curse can be auspicious also. Inauspicious can be auspicious. Auspicious can become inauspicious. For example, somebody get a lottery, gets so much money, millions of dollars. That can be also a curse, right? You may also forget Krishna. The man is saying, you mean to say such experience is useful? The God is saying we have to have experience in life. And the man is saying, you mean to say that such experience is useful? And God is saying, yes, in every terms. Experience is a hard teacher. So give the test first and the lessons afterwards. I'm going to explain this. Experience is a hard teacher. And it is saying that she gives the test. It's a female, it's a lady. The teacher is the lady. So a good teacher, a soft teacher gives the lesson first and then the test, the exam afterwards, right? A soft teacher gives the lessons first and then the test afterwards. But a hard teacher gives the test first and then the lessons later. What is that? Means that a good teacher gives the lesson first. But here in this material world, we have a hard teacher. And who is she? That is Durga. Durga Devi is in charge of this material world. She's giving kicks. She's giving tests first. You know, something happened to us, some accident, something very atrocious happened to us, some court case, some problem, some disease, or accident. This is a test. So the test comes first. And from that test, we learn our lesson, right? We learn so much from experience, right? So experience is a hard teacher. She gives a test. That is Durga. She gives the test first, and the lessons we learn afterwards. After that test, we learn the lesson. We learn our lesson. And then the man said, but still, why should we go through such tests? Why can't we be free from problems? Sometimes, why do we have to have problem in this world? If God exists, why so many problems? Why so much problems in this world? If God exists, why can't we be free from problems? So God is saying, problems are purposeful, and they are roadblocks offering beneficial lessons to enhance mental strengths. Inner strength comes from struggling. struggle and endurance, not when you are free from problems. Huh? So it is meant to enhance our mental strength. I think Narad Muni gave the same example. Narad Muni, in his previous life, he was a boy, small boy, and his caretaker was his mother. Only mother was taking care of him. And then it happened, by Krishna's will, his mother was bitten by a snake and died. And he was alone. And it's explained in Bhagavatam that he had to go through the cosmopolitan, the cities, dangerous forest. He had to go through all these paths, dangerous places. But it's explained that that has enhanced, it strengthens the minds of Narad Muni. He became so strong by going through all these the difficult situation. It enhances our mental strength. We become stronger. And next time there is something happen, and we know how to take it. For the first time something happened to us, we become traumatized. We shock. We bewildered. But now, if we have experience, and now we know how to take it, next time something happens, we know how to do it, how to take it. Right? So that's why they're saying here, beneficial lessons to enhance mental strength. So inner strength comes from struggle and endurance, not when you are free from problems. Right? So they are purposeful, yes. They are roadblocks, purposeful roadblocks offering beneficial lessons. Amazing. So, yeah, this one is also very interesting. Man is saying, friendly in the midst of so many problems, but we don't know where we are heading. Sometimes we become panic. We don't know where we're going. In the midst of so many problems around us. God, if you look outside, you will not know where you're going. If you look inside, look inside. Looking outside, you dream. Looking inside, you awaken. Just like the eyes provide sight, but the inside heart provides insight. So most of the time we're looking outside. We're searching for happiness from the outside plane, but it's not there. It is inside. Right? Like Prabhupada gave the example of the deer, animal deer. So the flavor come from the navel. The navel of the deer, there is a nice aroma. It's called kasturi. So the kasturi coming from the navel of the deer. But the deer can smell it. But he doesn't know where that's coming from. The deer smell it. He's smelling, looking for it. Where's the aroma coming from? Until he fell into a ditch and died. But the smell is within the nabi. It was itself. But it doesn't know. Similarly, the real happiness is within. Right? It is. We have to become more introspective. Right? So it is within us. Prabhupada said that this Krishna consciousness is not an imposition on the mind. It is natural. It's already there. Because the soul is Sachitananda. So enjoyment, we can enjoy life. Yes, why not? Life is meant to enjoy. Because that's why everybody is looking for happiness, for enjoyment. But enjoy with God, enjoy with Krishna. It is internal, it is not external. External enjoyment depends on money, on alcoholic drinks, cinemas, on all this external sex life. This is external enjoyment. But spiritual enjoyment is not external, it is internal. That's why they're saying if you look outside, you will not know where you're heading. Look inside. Krishna is also within you. Looking outside, you dream. Looking inside, you awaken. So if somebody is dreaming, you're dreaming, That's the tiger is chasing somebody. Tiger is chasing, or is flying, or is falling from the mountain. That's a dream, and became so frightened, fearful. So that fear will disappear when he's awakened. As soon as he's awakened, then that dream is over, and then he feels, oh, it's not real. So that's good, As soon as one wakes up. So that's why Bhakti Thakur is saying, Jeev Jago, Gaura Chandra Bole, Kota Nidra Jao Maya, Pisa Chera Kula. Wake up, sleeping soul. How long are you going to sleep in the laps of the witch of called Maya? And Maya's lap is very, very comfortable. So as soon as we get up, and then the fear disappear of the dream. And similarly, if we become awakened, and we all dream, somebody may say, Prabhuji, I'm already awake. Why are you telling me to become to awake? To wake up? Yes, we're still dreaming in this world. There is daydreaming and night dream. Like the king. One time a king, he was dreaming, he became a butterfly. So, and then he was hopping from one flower to the next flower, to the third flower, to the fourth flower. That was a dream. So the next morning, the king asked his servant, his minister, what was the cause of my dream? I dreamed that I became a butterfly. I was flying from one flower to the other flower. So the minister was very pious. Minister said, my dear king, you dreamed that you became a butterfly. That was a dream. That was a daydreaming. But now you think that you're the king. That's a night dream. Sorry, that's a daydreaming. You dreamed that you became a butterfly. That was night dream. But now you're thinking that you're the king. That is a daydreaming. That is night dreaming and daydreaming. So the eyes provide sight, and the heart provides insight. Well, due to time, I will skip that one. Yeah. The man is saying, in tough time, how to stay motivated. How do we stay motivated in tough time? Always look how far you have come, rather than how far you have to go. Right? How far you have come, you made it up to here. So you can make it. And always count your blessing, not what you're missing. Many times people think about, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I am missing this, I'm missing that. It is saying here that count your blessing. Krishna is sending blessing. So much blessing is giving, but we're not seeing it. He's giving us Bhagavad Gita. He's giving us Mahaprasadam. He gave us Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam, Kirtan, the holy name, the deities, the devotees, association of devotees. And then we have the holy dham, holy places, the Ganges, Tulsi Devi. So much blessing Lord is giving. That's why they're saying always count your blessing if you have to count. If you want to count. So always count your blessing. So much blessing is giving. Sometimes people saying that I'm praying, I'm worshiping the Lord, but I don't see anything happening. So much blessing Krishna is sending. The prasadam, Mahaprasad, the devotees, association, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Prabhupada, the temple, the deities, the holy dham, so much. So that's why he's saying always count your blessing. And another question that the man is asking to God, what surprises you about God? Sorry, about people. The man is asking, what surprises you about people? And God is saying, oh, when they suffer, they ask, why me? Why me? And when they prosper, they never ask, why me? If somebody gets a lottery, $5 million, he would never say, why only me? Right? But when he suffers, he would say, why me? Why me? Why has that happened to me? Right? So that is surprises to God. It's a surprise to God, So why me? Why me? We have to understand why me, because God loves us. Sometime when we were small boys, we were naughty and we were chastised by parents. Parent is chastising the child doesn't mean that the parent doesn't love the child. The parent loves the child because the parent wants to see the good behavior of the child. The parent wants the child to prosper. The parent wants the child to become a good citizen. That's why the parent is chastising, you know. So similarly, why it happened to me? Because God loves me. He's giving me so much trouble, so much pain, so that I become God conscious. You know, otherwise would have leave us alone. Why me? So everyone wishes to have truth on the side, but few want to be on the side of the truth. Right? Everyone wants justice. People want justice. Want the truth. I want justice. You know, but few people want to be on the side of truth. So yeah, this is a question here. Sometime I asked what life is, why I'm here. I can't get the answer. I would also want to skip that because due to time constraint. Man is saying, how can I get the best of life? And then the God is saying, face your past without regrets. Right? What has gone is gone. Handle your present with confidence and prepare for the future without fear. Right? He's asking this question, how can I get the best of life? Now you just face your past without regret, handle your present with confidence, and prepare for the future. This will be clear here. Okay, this is the last question. One last question that man is asking. Sometimes I feel my prayers are not answered. You know, people make prayers, we do pray, and then we feel that our prayers is not being answered by God. God is saying there are no unanswered prayers. At times the answer is no. So somebody is asking money from God, give me millions of dollars, and he doesn't see any reply from God. So God is saying there are no unanswered prayers. At times the answer is no. Right? People worshipping demigods, they get everything because the demigod become pleased. The demigod they give. Prabhupada said demigods are like shopkeeper. A child go to the shop to buy some lollipops, some sweets, and the shopkeeper will give because shopkeeper is getting money. Right? So demigods are like that. But if the child is going to the mother asking for sweets, or lollipop, mother will chastise will say, no, it's not good for you. So God is like the parents. He knows what is good for the child. So that's the question here. Sometimes I feel my prayers are not answered. Krishna doesn't give. He gives the best. Right? He gives the best. I remember there was one example. A man, he was sitting on a used box. He was begging. He was sitting on a used box. He was begging for money. But then one saint sadhu came and told him, you know what you're doing here? You're sitting on wealth. That box contained gold, diamonds, and jewelry, pearls for you. Your parent left it here for you. But due to ignorance, it was forgotten. Open it and you will find some treasure in it. And really the beggar opened the box. He found so much treasure. He became so happy, became millionaires now. And then the saintly person told him, see, what you were doing earlier, you were sitting on wealth, but begging for a few rupees or a few dollars, few pence. You're sitting on wealth, but begging for insignificant money. Right? So that's what we do in this world. We are begging God for insignificant things. We are sitting there because Krishna consciousness is the real wealth. It's a real treasure. Golokera Premadana Harinam Sankirtan. So we are sitting there, it's there already. Krishna consciousness, the wealth is a treasure, life treasure is already there in the heart. We are sitting there, but what are we doing? What people are doing, they're begging for insignificant amounts of money. It's an gratification. It's like a few paisa, few rupees, right? So God is saying there is no unanswered prayers. At time the answer is no. Lord does not want to give. And the Lord can give the best. So why should we go to God if you have to go to some millionaires, to Bill Gates? You go to Bill Gates and ask Bill Gates, please, we are building temple, give some donation. And Bill Gates asks how much? And you say, oh, $10 only. But that doesn't make sense. It's an insult for him because he's a person who can give more, right? He can. So God also can give us more. Why asking for insignificant things? He not only more, he can give himself to us, right? He can give himself to us. So why asking him for insignificant things where he can give you much more? The greatest treasure, Golokera Premadan Harinam Sankirtan. And he can also give himself to you, right? So that's why it would be an insult to ask $10 to Bill Gates, right? Where he can give more. So sometimes I feel my prayers are not answered. What is God saying? There are no unanswered prayers. At times the answer is no. So then this come to closer to the end. Man is saying that thank you for this wonderful chat. I'm so happy to start a new day with this new sense of inspiration. You see, earlier, it's the same like Arjuna was also perplexed. He was perplexed. That perplexity, Prabhupada said, the perplexity pushes one to find a solution, pushes one towards a guru. Sishafteham sadimam tam prapanam. This perplexity pushes one towards God to inquire about the absolute, because his perplexity, Arjuna was in a perplexed, he was perplexed, doesn't know what to do, to fight or not to fight, So Krishna said, you are mourning like you're speaking learned words, but what you're mourning for what is not worthy of grief, right? What is not worthy of grief. You're mourning for nothing. He was in perplex, and Krishna had to enlighten Arjuna. So after the enlightenment, Arjuna became so enlightened, and he stood up and fight, smiling face. So God said, well, keep the faith and drop the fear. We have to keep the faith. Yes, we have to have Shraddha. We have to have faith. We have to have Daya, not Daya, Shraddhalu. We have to have faith, because faith is the beginning of devotional life. Shraddha, to prema. To reach prema, one has to have faith. Shraddha is the beginning. So faith is important. Faith and drop the fear. Prahlad Maharaj had faithful faith that God is going to help him. So no doubt, your belief, don't believe your doubts, and don't doubt your beliefs. Don't believe your doubts. These are doubts, only doubts, don't believe them. And don't doubt your belief. Belief that is faith, that is good. And believe in God. That's the beginning of spiritual life, faith. Life is not misery. Life is not misery, but discovery. Life is discovery. Discovery of true love, real happiness, that is bliss, and perfect peace. Right? Life is not misery, but discovery. Discovery of true love, real peace, and perfect peace. Right? So it is discovery. What does the word discovery means? Discovery means it was there. It was covered. It was already there. It was already there. It was covered. Right? And now we are discovering that. Prabhupada said, to re-establish our lost relationship with God. Re-establishing means it was established already before. Now it is lost for some time. So we need to re-establish our lost relationship with God. So that is the meaning of discovery. Life is not misery, but discovery of true love, real happiness, and perfect peace. And that love, that true love, that real happiness, that peace is already there in the soul. Asantasya kuthasukam. Ashantasya kuthasukam. If we don't have peace, how can we have ashantasya kuthas? How can we have happiness? Ashantasya kuthasukam. Where is happiness? If you don't have real peace. So it's a discovery if we don't have to live. It's the greatest treasure. What did he said? Manusya janma paya, Radha Krishna nabhajya, janiya sunya vishakain. We have achieved this human birth, but what are we doing? We are not chanting Radha Krishna's name, and we are drinking poison consciously, because this body is a treasure, is a key to go back to Godhead, and to become free from this cycle of birth and death. This body, this human body. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Durlabam Sudurlabam. Sulabam Sudurlabam. This body is Sulabam, is Sudurlabam. It's rare to get, but it's also very, very easy. Guru Karnadaram is like a boat, and the guru is like the captain of that boat. So the point I wanted to make is discovery of true life is not misery, but discovery of true love, real happiness, and perfect peace. Trust me, life is wonderful if we know how to live, right? So our time, I would like to end here with the last point. Sometimes people would say that, I don't want to follow any religious practice. I don't want to do any dharma, nothing. If I become dharmic, if I start following some religion, then I will not be free to move. I'm going to be bound by the rules and regulations, by the principle. But that's not true. In fact, by following rules, one becomes free. By following dharma, one becomes free. By following rules and dharma, one becomes mukti. One is liberated. One is become free. For example, if somebody doesn't want to follow the rules set by government, right? He starts stealing, raping, and killing. What is going to happen to his freedom? His freedom is going to be taken away. He will be put in jail. No more freedom. But if we follow the rules and regulations of the government, and then we become free, we are free to move anywhere all around the world, just by following the rules of the government. But if we don't follow, then we'll be put in jail. And what happened in jail? Our freedom is taken away, right? So by following rules of dharma, one becomes happy, one becomes free. That's real freedom. So people, they don't realize that. They see it the other way around. I'll become happy, I'll become free by not following any dharma. But no, he becomes bound by his karma. So that's it here. So life is not misery, but discovery of true love, real happiness, and perfect peace. And God is saying, trust me, life is wonderful if you know how to live. And Krishna has spoken about all this in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This point, this realization, this wisdom, they're coming from Krishna, from Bhagavad Gita, but it's put in a different way, how we can to make us understand easily. Hare Krishna. So I'd like to stop here, and I think it's already 1 hour. And dear devotees, if Ananda Gauranga Prabhu, if anybody has any question regarding this presentation, so most welcome.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. This is the weekly recharging of spiritual batteries, but today we had this esoteric instructions funneled to us through these practical stories. You gave us many small instructive stories, the lady carrying wood, and Birbal and Akbar story, Narada Muni's story when he was a little boy, and Indradumna Maharaj and the devotee Kasturi deer. It's so many wonderful stories. So we are, richer in this spiritual knowledge through these practical stories that you had given, Maharaj. So, and the beauty is because you had put it in a question answer format, so it sort of answered the questions that devotees had. We were thinking, oh, could that be the question? And then you are already asking that question, and the answers came through. So we're fascinated by this format of samvada between God and this man, just like Ramananda Roy and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and these esoteric instructions have been funneled so nicely, Maharaj. So maybe we can wrap this up with one question. Prabhu had asked, and I'm just adding, we're just adding something more to it. Now, as far as the demigods are concerned, so they, people who pray to the demigods, they get their desire. We read that in Bhagavad Gita as well, very quickly, etc. Now, the question is, is the responsibility of the demigods to say, no, don't pray to me, because you have to pray to Krishna? Is there part of their responsibility to divert the people or devotees to the right source? Or why is that they accept that and they still give it? Is that a gradual transformation? That's one part of the question. And the second part of the question with the same demigods is, what's the, we have two ends of the spectrum. One is worshipping the devatas, and the second is disrespecting the devatas, right? So sometimes we over rotate and we start disrespecting them. At the same time, we don't want to worship. So where do we draw the line? So two-part question, Maharaj.
Yeah. So thank you for this question. To explain that even the demigods, the reward that they give, even if somebody approaches a demigod, it's done by Krishna himself, by the Lord himself, by the guidance of the Lord himself. Even the reward given by the demigods this is also happening by Krishna's mercy, because the demigods, even somebody who wants to approach any demigod, that is also carried out by Krishna himself. He guides the person to reach certain demigods, and the reward given by the demigod, that's also given by Krishna, right? So because the demigod, they don't have the capacity to even give whatever they give. It's all done by Krishna, because Krishna explained that people are worshipping the demigods and the reward given by the demigods, and it's all given by Krishna, but they are doing it in a wrong way. They're worshipping it the understanding is wrong. So the point is, the demigods, the demigods say also, like Lord Shiva, somebody prayed to Lord Shiva to achieve Krishna, like the gopis, they were worshipping Katyayani. So they were worshipping Katyayani, but they worship for Katyayani to achieve Krishna. That's why they were worshipping. And Krishna explained in Bhagavad Gita that those who worship the demigods, they are less intelligent, right? Because the demigods would give material benediction. They would give material benediction. That's also been blessed by Krishna's blessing, that they're also able to give. But demigods, they are not necessarily pure devotees, right? They are administrators of this material world. And people, they do sacrifices, they give their share to the demigods, they become happy. Like I've said, like the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper is happy when they get money, and they can give the child anything, even cigarettes, right? Because they're getting the money. So that's their responsibility, because they're responsible of the material nature, material world. But bhakti or mukti can be given only by Krishna, right? Mukti is given by Krishna only. Not any demigods can give mukti, because Krishna is called Mukunda. Krishna is Mukunda. When you see Hiranyakashipu, he approaches Brahmaji, he asks Brahmaji a boon. The first boon he asked, give me eternity, eternal life. And Brahma said, I cannot give because I'm not also eternal, right? So, but the demigod, they can open the door to liberation. They can help open the door for liberation. like Lord Shiva, can also open the door for liberation. But they can't give liberation. Liberation can be given only by Krishna, because Krishna's name only is Mukunda. Mukunda is one who gives mukti, liberation. So now coming to respecting yes, not worshipping demigod doesn't mean that we don't respect the demigods. That is wrong concept. They are also devotees of the Lord. Prabhupada, sometimes he said they may be also materialistic devotees, but they are devotees, right? And the Lord favors them all the time. The Lord always take their sign. So they are devotees, they're also doing the service that according to their responsibility. So respect has to be there, definitely. They're not ordinary people. So we not worshiping demigod means, what does that mean? We can worship them to get bhakti for Krishna. But if we worship them for materialistic purpose, that is wrong. That is poison. That is poison for bhakti, right? If you want to buy gold, you go to the gold shop. You don't go to the hardware shop. If you want to buy iron, you go to the hardware shop. It's not that you can get everything from anything. So to get bhakti and mukti, that only Krishna can give. Others can also give bhakti, but mukti only Krishna can give. And that doesn't mean that we should not respect the demigods, because they're also devotees of the Lord. Respect has to be there, right? Hare Krishna.
Beautiful, beautiful, Maharaj. Well said, and it's very clear. Both the questions were beautifully answered, Maharaj. So I think we're getting a lot of positive responses from the devotees. So on behalf of all the devotees who joined today's virtual class, Maharaj, we are so grateful for giving us this wonderful practical class with so many beautiful stories. And as I mentioned, these esoteric instructions from the scriptures have been funneled to us through these very practical stories, Maharaj. So on behalf of all the devotees, I would like to thank you, Maharaj, for your valuable time and for joining us from Mauritius. It's late, but we are so grateful to you, Maharaj. Until next time, Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.